Yeah.
All right.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another edition of Wrestling Talks and Thoughts. I am your host, Saheem, the Dream, the man with all the cream, and got a whole bunch of cash busting out the seams. And I'm here with my co-host.
Allow me to reintroduce myself.
Mac Mean, what's going on?
J Mac Mizzle, what's going on? So we have some news and rumors. Let's get into it.
Gotcha. So the first news and rumors comes from an article from Wrestling Inc., where Booker T recalls the WWE locker room incident over wrestlers' comments about MLK Day.
All right.
So Booker T was on the Corey Graves After the Bell podcast for the first time, where the two former podcast partners reconnected for the first time in a while. Booker T told a story about an incident in the WWE locker room where a wrestler questioned the importance of civil rights, the civil rights leader Martin Luther King Jr. That's big.
That's real big.
You're right. So Booker T goes on the states. Most of the guys have been white, but I remember that day there was some Martin Luther King. He's what has he ever done? Who is he? Why does he have a holiday? You know me, I'm pretty confrontational. My first move was to throw hands. I reacted, and I just wanted to throw hands. Instead of calling that person out on the spot, Booker T said he chose to bring it up after the meeting, which with all the wrestlers and staff. He said that after the wrestler was called out for his comments about Martin Luther King Jr., the person was fired. Booker T said, we have had meetings, and at the end of the meeting, they said, does everybody have anything to say? And I said, yes. I want that person to say in front of the whole room what they said to me in front of the locker room yesterday. He kind of backtracked, and one of my boys stepped up and said, no, say exactly what you said, because I was there too. That guy happened to be a white guy. He ended up having to say what he said, and needless to say, the guy was fired a week later. We never saw him ever again in the business. Wow.
So, because you were cutting up a little bit in the beginning, and you were in the part that you cut up at, that your audio was cutting up, was when you were speaking and when you were talking about how there was a wrestler that was questioning who is Martin Luther King, why does he have a holiday, and
right.
Why is he being celebrated? That's the part your audio was cutting up at. That's crazy. That's crazy. But I like the part of the story where the dude was like, where the other dude was like, no, say exactly what you said. Like,
right. That's sort of how we would do it as friends, if saying like if we're hanging out and saying like we got talking about one of us and we like, nah, B, you gonna say that same stuff in front of my boy, and then they'll say it and like nah, that's not what you said. Say exactly what you said.
Word, same energy, my nigga, same energy. Word. All right, what's the next topic?
That's crazy. All right, so the next topic, Arn Anderson goes on to name his modern day 4 Horsemen. So at last night's The Arn Show, live at WrestleCade, when asked about who he would include in the modern day 4 Horsemen, who would be being the DJ Dillon of the list of the group Arn Anderson listed, of course he would say Cody Rhodes. Why wouldn't he not say Cody Rhodes?
Right.
Cody Rhodes, Braun Strowman, Scott Dawson, and Dash Wilder, formerly the Revival, now FTR. Interesting.
Okay, so I think Cody, yes, Dash Wilder and Scott Dawson, absolutely. Braun Strowman. You know what? I would add Dolph Ziggler.
Yeah, because I feel Dolph Ziggler fits more than Braun. I don't remember the Four Horsemen having a real big heavy.
Yeah, they you know what they did? They did, but that was Sid Vicious, because they always had like rotating members,
Right.
but the main members we remember in the Four Horsemen is Arn Anderson, Ric Flair, Ole Anderson, and Tully Blanchard. Like those are that's the original, the four original.
Right.
And then we remember some rotating members like Mick Michaels and Chris Benoit.
Mick Michaels was the worst.
Was he really that bad of a wrestler?
Yo, I remember the time that him and Benoit had a tag match, or anytime he represented the Horsemen, I'm like, please, Mongo, don't mess this up, please.
It's crazy because the internet they stay talking about how bad his wrestling is. They always talk about how crappy his wrestling was. They was like Mick Michaels was the worst of the Four Horsemen. He was one of the worst members. Because his wrestling was horrible.
Yeah, I mean, I don't remember his wrestling so much, but we were younger around that time, so we didn't really look at the wrestling as much. But he did come across as the weak link, and I was just like, wow.
All right, so question: who do you think beside Arn Anderson? Because if I ask you this question, the question I'm going to ask you is, who do you think was one of the best Four Horsemen beside Ric Flair? And of course, most people would usually lean to Arn Anderson, right? Because he's like you have Flair, who was like the leader, but Arn was like the backbone, right?
Right.
So let's take out Arn. Let's take out all the four original, right?
Okay.
Who do you think was the best member of the Four Horsemen that fit beside the four original? I know who you're going to say.
Of course,
Christopher Benoit. Huh?
Christopher Benoit.
Right. Right. Yeah.
Christopher Benoit. Definitely. Like he was one of my favorites in WCW. And it was just his intensity. What he and he really made me a believer. With WCW. So outside of the whole cruiserweight and lucha libre style, but. He was that guy for me. So I was a big fan of Chris. And, when he was in the Horsemen, like I said, I rooted for them all the time. He used to come down with Woman and, for me, it was Chris.
Okay. Another question. All right. So say we have Cody Rhodes, we have Dash Wilder, Scott Dawson, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who will be another member you would add to the Four Horsemen beside Braun Strowman, or besides Ziggler? I have one in mind, but who would you add? Who else would you add
besides Ziggler?
Yeah.
I think you can mold Seth into the arrogance.
That'd be crazy. Huh?
Yeah, like the arrogant, I'm better than you, Seth. Like,
Yeah. That'll be crazy. Yeah.
I can see Randy even being, a legitimate member.
Yeah. Randy would be a crazy member of the Four Horsemen. I have, my choice is not as good as Randy and Seth. It's not as good, but he would fit though. He would be a great fit. Even though he's sort of even though he would come off sort of like a poor man's Ric Flair, The Miz.
Yeah,
the Miz would fit well. He would fit well as a Horseman. He would fit well.
Because he's great on the mic. He's a talker. Similar to Flair, and even though Cody's great on the mic too, but The Miz would be that talker, like you said. He would be the poor man's Flair. So yeah, I definitely see The Miz as a great fit.
Yeah, but your choice is way better. All right, next topic.
All right, so next we have So, for you guys on the show, we've been speaking about the Speak Out movement quite a bit as of late. So Matt Riddle decides to, we all know that the allegations, because if you guys are following the show, there's allegations that was accused of Matt Riddle, and we kind of, me and Sai had also talked about Matt Riddle's push being diminished and him being buried due to the allegations, but we see it hasn't happened. And Matt Riddle took to his personal Twitter account to defend his allegations and to speak his part. And we do have a video clip to what Matt Riddle had to say in his defense.
All right, let me get this clip up so I can play it.
I'm going to make this quick. I have never in my entire life sexually assaulted a man, woman, or anybody. And that includes Samantha Tavel, Candy Cartwright. I never sexually assaulted you. The story about that van trip and the driver being asleep and me forcing you to do stuff and hop on whatever is a complete lie. It's a fabricated story because you're still mad. You know why you're mad? Because yes, you're right. We had an affair. You have plenty of evidence of that. And you know what? I never denied it because it happened. Do I want to talk about it? Do I really want to share about it? No. It's embarrassing because I feel like a real piece of crap cheating on my wife and doing that and now having to talk about it publicly. But I have to. We had a relationship. We had a fling. I started to get sad and depressed because I was lying to my wife so much to hide what I was doing. I was lying to all my friends because I didn't want anybody to know because it's not something cool. I didn't want to brag about it. I tried to end it. I told my wife about you and us. I tried to end it. I blocked you. I blocked your social media. You then started using messaging apps and you kept coming. I blocked those. I got a new number. You got my new number and kept messaging me. You literally got on social media accounts for other companies, kept messaging me until I blocked them. Now you have literally started harassing me, showing up to hotels, harassing my friends. Where is he? Where is he? Where is he? At this point, you have to realize if you don't think you're stalking me or harassing me, you're crazy. And if you are at home and you don't think that's harassment, you're crazy. At the end of the day, I'm not perfect. We did have an affair, and I'm not happy about that. But I never sexually abused anybody. I never sexually assaulted anybody. And when I wanted to get out of this relationship, out of this situation, she said no, and she kept pursuing me and harassing me and stalking me. And then when she didn't get her way, she used the Speak Out movement to try to ruin my career. Completely unacceptable. That's all I really had to say. That's the story. Everybody have a great day. Take care. Later.
That's crazy, wow. See, I think this is the problem. This is one of the problems that's going to happen concerning this movement is that you have some people who will use this moment for attention for themselves, and they will use this moment to try to hurt other people because they're not getting what they want out of those people. And I think me and you spoke earlier today, and I told you about the situation where this guy, gave this girl a ride because he was flirting with her, and she was drunk out with a friend. She got drunk. She hopped in a car with a car full of guys, drove a few blocks. She wanted to get out, got out the car. Her friends were mad at her because she was constantly flat leaving them for other guys every time they went out to go drinking. And because she didn't want her friends to be mad at her, she accused this guy of rape. And this guy went to jail with no evidence, no evidence against this guy, what I'm saying, that actually proved that he committed the crime. And he went to jail for 4 years. And then this woman, she becomes a Christian. She has a guilty conscience about this and decides to confess to the cops and to her lawyer, whoever, that she wrongfully accused a person of this act and of this, of this crime. And she wound up spending a year in jail because of it. That's crazy. And it's like this Speak out movement is for people who were actually assaulted. You know what I'm saying? This movement is for people who are actual victims. And what sucks is and the thing about what sucks about this is when you have these situations that come out like this, you know what I'm saying, where people have to fight for their innocence. You know, you have some guys who really have, like, not some guys, but you have some people who are really jumping at the chance to make this speak out movement look like a joke. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not a joke. Like sexual assault and all this stuff, like violation, this stuff is not a joke. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like the whole thing with the Black Lives Matter movement and everything that deals with people being victimized by some sort of person in power or position or whatever it may be. Like, these things are not a joke. These things are not a game. And the fact that, you know, this is happening the way it's happening, where, you know, Matt Riddle, and the thing about I think the girl posted a picture of them being together in 2019. And she was like, oh, well, we were together just recently in 2019. But again, if he ended the affair and the affair is done and you're still stalking him, whatever, I don't know all the full details, you know what I'm saying? But for what we know for sure right now is that this is what we know, is the information is his side and her side. You know what I'm saying? But what we do know for sure is that she was in a consensual relationship with him. That's what we do know.
Right. You know, and like you said, he's not denying the allegations at all. He's not denying that they were together. You know, he's definitely not denying that at all. But, you know, he's just denying the fact that, you know, he forced himself on her and, you know, he sexually assaulted her. And, you know, and it's messed up because and typically, like, and if you think about it, 96, 98, 98, 99% of these allegations are women that's going after men in a position of power, you know, celebrity men. And, you know, as we spoke earlier today, like, it's messed up with society because despite of whatever happens, you know, if a woman says, oh, he raped me or he did this, they're not going to ask the guy, you know, any questions. They're not going to say, hey, can you confirm or what really happened? It's, oh, he did that? Okay, cool. Right. Jail. You know, and it's messed up. That we as men, we don't have that. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to something like that, we can't really speak out, or we can't give our side of it, or you know, even have a say so in it because of the fact that, you know, once a woman say, oh, he did this, he did that, especially something of this magnitude, you know, they're going to take the woman's word for it. Now, I'm not saying, you know, all of them are lying, you know, because, you know, obviously we do have some grimy, you know, guys out there who are sneaky and, you know, just straight right dirt bags, you know, but, you know, you know, but for the ones that are innocent, it's messed up that, you know what I'm saying, you're putting you're dragging their name in the mud and potentially trying to ruin their career and life, you know, over something that, you know, that weak guy doesn't want anymore, which sucks. Yeah.
And that's the thing. You mentioned, and that's the point that I was trying to get at before when I told that story about the guy, is that when a woman yells, when a woman says that she's been violated in this way, in order for society, because what society is doing is to compensate for the fact that they feel like women have not been protected enough, they just go on a woman's word.
Right.
Sometimes they don't even try to find evidence. And even if they do find that there's been no evidence of violation, you know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes they just still go with her word anyway. It's like, oh, because she said it, it actually happened. And it's like, no, it didn't. And it's like, you have to have had a witness there to say, like, no, this didn't go down that way. This didn't go down that way. And the way our society is now is like, just a simple fact that you were accused of it. And even though you may even had a witness there that said nothing went down, the fact that you were accused of it makes you look some kind of way. And that's crazy. And again, because society is trying to compensate for women feeling like they were never really protected. So now it's like, okay, if a woman says it, we got to go with her word, because we know, you know, it wouldn't be vice, because they feel like it wouldn't be vice versa. It wouldn't be a woman doing it to a man, even though it has happened to men. Men have been sexually violated by women plenty of times. But anyway, yeah. But listen, but now because we're in a place of equality, right?
Right.
And women want equality. So when it comes to equality, these certain double standards that have been going on for years concerning men and women have to all be torn down. So the double standards that men have had through society are being torn down through the equality movement. but as well as the double standards that have been held for women have to now be torn down, because equality means equal. But the funny thing about that is the reality about equality is equal does not always mean fair. Equal doesn't always mean fair, because I'm a man, she's a woman, and say we're both working at a job where we have to lift 10 barrels a day because I'm 6'5" and this woman is 5'10", and we both have to lift 10 barrels. I may be able to do my work a lot quicker and a lot faster than she is. And then not really have a lot of back pain, not have a lot of leg strain and so forth. But then her, on the other hand, she will have back pains and have to go to a chiropractor because, you know, her body, her frame is smaller and her bone density is not as heavy as mine as a man. So she might not be able to do it as much as I can do. You know what I'm saying? And again, the fact of the matter is it's equal, but it ain't fair.
And then,
you know what I'm saying?
And then, you know, with us as men, you know, we're working in the same place. You know, once we knock out our 5, we look at her and, you know, we see, you know, she only did 2 by the time we knocked out 5. Our in judgment is like, all right, well, let's help her so that we can get this guy out the way instead of watching me sitting out doing nothing, chilling, while she's struggling to, you know, put these barrels over there. So, you know, it's, you know, it comes to the territory. And, you know, we were younger. We used to always joke all the time. Like, you know what I'm saying, with things like this, like, yo, you see what happens when you really put it down, fellas? You have this situation. But you know, it's definitely not, you know, a joking matter, you know, now, because again, you know, when we were younger, you know, we didn't know no better, and you know, we didn't think of how serious it is. I mean, we knew how serious it is, but we always, you know, try to, you know, joke about it. But yeah, like it's crazy, like, you know, and then it sucks because a lot of women, they use it because they know, you know, they have sex appeal. They know they have great, you know, sexuality. So they'll try to entice the man to, you know, engage. And then once the guy engages, and let's say, for instance, they don't like it, you know what I'm saying? Let's flip the script. Let's just say, you know, instead of the guy wanting to cut it off, and cut it off, and the girl can continue on to they'll say raise these allegations. It could be the reverse, you know, the girl entices the guy, she gets it, you know, and it's not what she thought, and she's like, oh my God, like, nah, I'm good, you know, and then the guy's like, hey, you know, I want to see you again. Oh, he assaulted me. You know what I'm saying? So it works reverse like that too. And again, like I said, I wish we were in a day and age where it happened, where something like that happens. You know, at least give us a chance to explain what happened, or at least give our side of the story instead of saying, "Oh, well, she said you raped her. You're coming with us, handcuffs, and you're going." You know. Right.
You know what's crazy? Real quick. There was a situation. These guys on YouTube I watch, Abba and Preach. They always post up a lot of videos concerning social issues. So there was this one particular topic dealing with this woman who she was on Twitch or whatever, and on her Twitch she had this male friend who had her in the friend zone. Now usually it's the man that's in the friend zone trying to get out with a woman, but in this particular case it was the woman that was in the friend zone trying to get out of the friend zone with this guy. So the guy didn't really see her, you know, like in that kind of manner as being, you know, attractive, you know, like, you know, that, you know, he wasn't attracted to her in that kind of capacity. So anyway, she wanted to shoot for a relationship, and they went out on a date one night, and you know, they were kind of flirting. She was kind of flirting with him, and he was, you know, just kind of trying to settle with the situation of, you know, dating her, whatever. Now, mind you, she's an attractive woman. She's an attractive, nice looking, you know, girl, blonde hair, you know, she's nice looking. But the guy still wasn't kind of feeling her like that, but he was just trying to adjust to it. The second time they go on this date, whatever. And what happens is she tried to kiss him. So he didn't want to kiss her. He didn't feel comfortable kissing her. What happened was she started to pressure him into trying to kiss him. I'm sorry. She tried to pressure him into trying to kiss her. So she was pressuring him and was saying, oh, if you don't kiss me, I'm going to call you a punk, and I'm going to say that you're this, and I'm going to tell people you're this and that. And she's pressuring this guy. And the thing about it what happened was they had like a round table conversation about it with some people on Twitch, and she spoke about the situation, and it was like she's laughing and joking, and like a few of the guys are laughing and joking, but then one of the girls came out and was like, hold on a second, wait, back this up, because if that guy did that to you, you'll be trying to file charges.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And we no questions asked. It'll be, as we used to call it, a watch ahead case.
Yeah. Exactly. Word. Moving forward. Let's next topic.
Yeah, that's crazy. All right. So
Yeah.
as we saw on Raw, Heath Slater, the one man band,
Yeah.
um, he made his return to Raw, not under contract, from what we know.
Yeah.
Booker T, he went to Booker T's doing a lot of talking as of late.
He has me. He has his own podcast. He does talk. I mean, his podcast is pretty cool. Like, I watch it from time to time. Like, I catch it sometimes.
I think I need to check it out. Yeah, he's doing a lot of talking, but yeah. So he went to give his opinion and comments about Heath Slater's appearance. So Booker T goes on to say Heath Slater Heath Slater's not a guy you want to lose. Booker T stated, he's the guy you want on your team. He's the guy that's going to make sure he pulls his weight. He's going to play his role. That's what I talk about in the game as far as, hey man, just play your role tonight. Don't try to play someone else's role. If you do that, we'll have a great show. If you go out, if you go out there and you want to take take one job from another man, then you're gonna have 3 jobs, and that you're trying to take on, and then you complain about it. You're the one who took those jobs. You're the one who took those jobs. He says the guy is gonna play his role, and that's why he got the phone call. Hey Heath, you want to come back? That's what it's about.
Yeah. If you guys are joining us, drop a comment below. We just got finished talking about the Matt Riddle allegations. We just got finished talking about also Arn Anderson naming his modern day for Horsemen. Also, we also started off the conversation with talking about Booker T's incident over one of the members in WWE speaking about Martin Luther King Day and how he didn't understand who Martin Luther King was and just how he kind of spoke out against him, just his comments. And so, yeah, we want to know what you guys think. We want you guys to drop your comments below. Right now, we're talking about Booker T's comments on Heath Slater and how he feels about Heath Slater. So if you guys are catching the replay on YouTube, if you guys are catching us here live on Facebook, drop a comment below. We will post your comment up. We want to hear from you guys, what you guys think. This is very interesting. Yeah, you know what? When Heath Slater, I was thinking to myself, like, whether they were going to keep Heath Slater after this whole, speech, and he came in for a little bit, and I thought, maybe they will probably be a little bit interested in him. But Booker T is right, but and it's so sad because it's almost a damn if you do, damn if you don't kind of situation, because it's based on the character Vince and the writers give you, right?
Right.
So you got to play that character to the T. And 3MB, they played those characters to the T, man. I remember Drew McIntyre was out there doing the pelvic thrust and doing the air guitar. Like he was all in. Like he was totally invested in it. Like, you know what I'm saying? He was flipping his tongue and everything. Like if you look at old Drew McIntyre from when he first started to the Chosen One, to him going to 3MB, to him now being the WWE champion, I mean, like it's night and day. But it's a damn if you don't, damn if you do situation, because it's based on the character they give you. So you got to play it to the T. And Heath Slater played that character very well, until to a point where I felt like he should have at least got a United States or Intercontinental title run, that they could have played some comedy into it, but it would have been good enough to where they could have built a good heel or a good face. But he had the charisma to pull it off. So hopefully,
Yeah, hopefully they bring him back, and he, because everybody's saying he's a great guy, he's a great locker room guy, and I think him and Drake Maverick were one of the heartfelt ones that had to be released, as well as we mentioned Sarah Logan, but those are the three they really didn't want to let go, similar to when they released Damian Sandow. They said they really didn't want to let him go, but they had. So I believe Heath Slater was one of those ones, And I'm sure Heath wouldn't mind coming back for a lesser contract, just to save the company money, because this is he's been in the WWE since the Nexus. He's been the only consistent member from the Nexus from day one that's been on a roster, that hasn't been released until now, obviously. But since that debut in the Nexus,
yeah.
So
yeah. I was going to say Daniel, but Daniel was injured, but he has been the most. But Heath Slater has been the most consistent. No, that's true.
Right, but then remember when they first came up, Daniel was sort of released, and then they brought him back.
Right. That's why I agree with you. I said I was going to say Daniel, but no, you're right. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. He's the most consistent out of Like he's never once he signed on, he was always on. Like Wade Barrett even got injured and came left and came back. Right. Daniel got fired, left, came back. Daniel was injured, left, came back. He retired, left, came back. But through all that time, Heath was the most consistent. No, you're right. You're absolutely right.
Right. Yeah. So, and even though we look back at, we look back, at when the Nexus first debuted, and when it goes around, none of them are, even though David Otunga is still around, but he's not an in-ring competitor. He'll do like a pre.
With David, what's so funny? Like when we have conversations and people talk about the Nexus and they say like, "Yo, who would you bring back from the Nexus that you thought was a great performer or whatever?" And I remember one time we was like in a group chat and somebody said David Otunga. I said David Otunga. What? Yo, I would bring back Tarver over David Otunga. He was entertaining,
right?
But he didn't really get used properly. He didn't get. They just cut him. I don't know why they cut him, but I thought he was great. I thought he was better than Otunga. But Otunga was married to Jennifer Hudson, and Jennifer Hudson just won an Oscar. So WWE used that as steam. It was like, oh yeah, we're gonna push Otunga because Otunga's Jennifer Hudson's husband. They were married at the time, so of course they're gonna push that. They're like, let's push this. Oh, this is David Otunga. Let's make him the general. He's the second leader of the Nexus. You have Wade Barrett, and you have David Otunga. And,
but there was a report that she didn't really like him wrestling. She didn't really want him to do it. So I don't know if that's the reason why he kind of stepped down, or if WWE decided they wanted. But yeah, there was an article that stated that she wasn't really feeling him as a wrestler.
Yeah, I heard about that article. From what this is one of the things that I remember. Like one of the things, I think one of the things I remember her saying was that because he spends so much time on the road.
Right.
Yeah. So they rarely get to see each other. He's like when she's in one city, he's in this other city. Like they're like always way far off from each other. So they have to do a lot of coordinating to meet up with each other.
Right. And then when you're two celebrities, like you're your actor and actress, you guys are dating. There's gonna be times you're on the road, so you pick a high profile lifestyle like that.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. So our next topic, what we have next?
The next topic. So The Miz reveals his WWE SummerSlam match he has in mind, wanting to make John Morrison WWE champion. So The Miz, like many of us, praises his tag team partner and says he wants to help him win the WWE title. He noted that his current goal is to get Morrison the WWE title. John Morrison will be WWE champion, and it's my goal to get him there, The Miz said. He will be an outstanding WWE champion. Some of the stuff he can do is incredible. He's so entertaining. He's a friend that has my back, and I have his too. So me personally, I feel this is more than just a friend trying to help out a friend or trying to vouch for a friend. I completely agree with this conversation too. The Morrison would be a great champion. Definitely intercontinental. The way that the scene is now, WWE champion, maybe. If he's an NXT, definitely NXT champion. But I'm on the fence about the WWE champion. I'm kind of on the fence about that one.
Okay, so why are you on the fence about that? What is it about what is it about John Morrison, or what is it that you visual about John Morrison that makes you a little bit on the fence about him possibly being the WWE champion?
I want to say, I want to say his booking, because the way he's been booked as of late, he doesn't. They haven't booked him as a convincing WWE champion. Because what I mean. And see, and I'm not saying that a WWE the heavyweight champion has to be dominant, because we do have heel champions that barely make it by or barely win matches. Now, with John Morrison going and have a great match, absolutely. But do I see him as heavyweight WWE champion? I don't know. I mean, now don't get me wrong. I want him to be champion. If he does, I'll be behind it 110%. But as of right now, at this very moment, I don't see it.
Okay, fun fact. I got a fun fact for you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Fun fact. The longest reigning WWE champions were Libras. Bruno Sammartino, Pedro Morales. Bruno Sammartino is the longest reigning WWE champion in history. I think it's between, like, as far as like who held the belt consecutively the longest. I think yes, second is Pedro Morales, and then third is Hulk Hogan. But Hulk Hogan beats Pedro Morales at a few days. They're close in time as how many held the belt as a certain amount of days. But the one who held the belt as far as days is Bruno Sammartino, second is Hogan, third is Pedro Morales. But then the people who held the belt at a long consecutive time was Bruno Sammartino, Pedro Morales, then Hogan. But two of the like longest reigning were Libras. And the reason why I mentioned Libra is because John Morrison is a Libra. So
Punk is not up there?
Huh?
Punk isn't up there because he was the longest reigning. I forgot his reign, but
no. Punk ain't even scratch. Punk is not up there. The longest, like, it's like, so we're talking about days held, like, so it could be like you could have held the belt in 96, and you could have held the belt in 96 for 6 months, and then you could have held the belt in 98 for 3 months. And if we combine those days, like, and those are days held. No, Punk is not up there. Punk is like in a 400 to 500 day length time. But Hogan, John Cena, Pedro Morales, Bruno Sammartino, those guys are in like the thousands.
Well,
I think
Fabulous Moolah got them all beat.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think Fabulous Moolah held the belt for like what, 8 years, 10 years, like a decade or something, because she ain't wrestled nobody.
170 days as women's champion.
You said what happened? What'd you say?
10,170 days as champion.
Yeah. She held the belt for like 7-8 years or something, and she wasn't wrestling nobody. Like, she was just walking around with the whole women's division was defunct in like WWE for like years. And then they finally brought it back. And then when they brought it back, she wrestled for a little bit and still held the belt. And then they defunct it again. And then when they finally brought it back, she like eventually lost it again. But usually when they would bring it back, she would come back, she would win, and just keep moving on. But she just held the belt. It's like whatever. It was just like they didn't really have anything going for that women's division. So yeah, she definitely has all of them beat. But
Punk was only 434 days.
Yeah, Punk is like, he's on a lower end. Like, I think even Triple H like has like a longer reign than him.
No,
I think no.
So their list is Bruno Sammartino at 2,803 days.
Okay.
Bob Backlund at 2,135 days.
Okay.
Hulk Hogan at 1,474 days.
Okay.
Bruno Sammartino 1,237 days.
Okay.
Morales 1,027 days, and then you have Punk with 434. You have Cena.
Wait, what?
Huh?
Why is Bruno Sammartino twice? He's on the list twice.
Yeah, that's weird. I don't. Yeah, that's a good question. I don't know.
Yeah, it's supposed to be combined, but yeah.
So then you have Cena at 381 days, AJ Styles at 371, who ties with Macho Man with 371, and then Hulk Hogan with 364.
Okay. All right. So because you reading from I'm reading from Wikipedia. I'm looking at Wikipedia.
That was
And
WWE.com.
that was where?
I believe it was WWE.com. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So yeah, Bruno Sammartino, fourth. Yeah. Okay. It's Bruno, Hogan, Bob Backlund. I forgot about Backlund. He was another one who held the belt like a long time, like a long length of time. Is that what?
Bobby B.
Bobby B. Bob Backlund. Oh man. All right, let's move forward because we running out of time. But real quick on yeah, that was just a fun fact. That fun fact just had us go somewhere else. But let's just move forward. But on John Morrison, my take on John Morrison is this is my only quote is that I think John Morrison would be exciting if they like how we like last video we did when we spoke about Ricochet and how Ricochet needs to be unleashed. Like if Morrison is unleashed, like that SmackDown match was dope. The match he had with Matt Riddle was pretty good. And I heard like this word going around that Vince McMahon sees Matt Riddle as a young Shawn Michaels.
Yes, I read that.
Yeah, so he sees Matt Riddle as a young Shawn Michaels. He sees Angel Gaza as a young Eddie Guerrero, but he doesn't see anything in Finn and Dolph Ziggler and Cesaro. Shut up, Vince. Shut up. You shut your mouth, Vince. Get the hell up, man. They're like, what? You see Matt Riddle as a young Shawn Michaels? What?
Bro.
But anyway, I'm sorry. I digress. But let me just get to my point. I think John Morrison would be excellent at showing a lot of high flying abilities and stuff like that. And I think he'll bring a lot of excitement in a sense. And he's better on the mic. He's great on the mic. So I think he'll be a good champion. I think he'll be a good champion in the same capacity as like a Drew McIntyre.
I believe so. I mean, like I said, I trust me. If he gets the title, I'm going to be all for it because we definitely need something different. But I don't know. Like, I guess the way he's being booked is just, he's not being booked as, like I said, he had a great match against Riddle. So I guess with booking and let him, build some momentum and get a couple wins under his belt, I think he can.
Yeah. Absolutely. What do we have next?
All right, moving forward. WWE reportedly changing another top belt design. A new NXT title belt will reportedly be introduced soon. WWE belt maker Belt Fan Dan noted on his Twitter that the NXT title currently held by Adam Cole will be replaced with a larger version of the same design. There's no word on when the new look will be revealed. It's also noted that WWE has new SmackDown tag title belts since WrestleMania 35 in 2009. No word on when they will be used either. The New Day currently hold the blue brand title straps. So now I can believe that the NXT title is going to be changed with, as we've seen, Keith Lee dethroning Adam Cole. So it just makes sense that you had the title change hands to introduce a new one. So I can see that.
Yeah, I can see that. I wonder how it's going to look, though. I'm very excited. And I'm curious to know what those tag titles look like, the ones they didn't use.
Right, because then if you think about it, if you change the SmackDown tag titles, you guys have to change the Raw because they're the same belt, just different color strap. Just different strap colors.
Yeah. It was so funny because when they had changed the tag titles, people were saying like they look like pennies, like little little penny belts. the first one's the black ones, the black strap and the chrome. I mean,
Right.
the copper face, the original. Yeah. Before it had the red strap. Yeah. There's like they did look like pennies, but I liked it. I thought they were dope.
Yeah, they were
Yeah, it was different. But I'm not really feeling the blue and the red strap. I feel like it's just too cartoonish. Like Vince needs to stop with the whole color blend. Because I understand he's trying to brand, but it's just like, make it make sense, Make it make sense. Like, it's fine if you just do a black strap. Like, like if you did do a red strap for the red brand, that's fine. But I think he should kind of make it make sense. Like if he did like a red strap, a white strap, and black strap, but just do straps that make sense. Like the North American title, the brown strap, it makes sense.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's different. It's weird because I like the belt. I mean, I like it. I can say I like it. I don't dislike it. But again, black and gold is always more appealing than brown and gold. White and gold will be as close to appealing as black and gold, but it depends on how that gold looks on the strap. So just make it make sense, But that blue strap, he needs to forget about it. He needs the purple strap. The cruiserweight title, I think it's a little bigger. Like I think he made it a little big. It looks bigger than the original cruiserweight title. But I like the fact that they made it a darker purple, and I think they added a little something to the plate on it. But it looks a little better and it's a little sparkly now. But for what they have, I mean, I like it. I like what they redid with the belt and everything. But you gotta make sense.
Yeah, because that bright purple, I was just like, oh my god.
Yeah, make it make sense. Yes. Next topic.
The last topic we have is Dolph Ziggler says the Extreme Rules stipulation choice has never been done in WWE. If I get this through and cleared by WWE, it will be something that has never been done before, and I'll be taking full advantage because it's something that I'd be stupid to pick a regular match that we've seen before. Ziggler said, noting that the match would be open to no Claymore or an Iron Man match. Wow.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say about that.
I don't know, man. I feel like I have a mouthful, but I mean, I do, man. I just have so much to say, but I like the fact that this is what I like. I think what I like about this idea is that he's choosing an Iron Man match because I think it's a great choice because he wants to show that I can hold the attention of fans for this length of time and give you something entertaining and compete on that same level as a Drew McIntyre. You know what I'm saying? It was very similar to when he had that Iron Man. I think he had the Iron Man match against The Miz. I think they had like a 30-minute Iron Man match, or was it 2 out of 3 pinfall? Was it? Did they have an Iron Man match, or was it an Iron Man match?
You said Dolph and The Miz. Was it? I know they had the match where Dolph's career was on the line, but I don't remember if it was an Iron Man match.
Oh, did it? Okay, I gotta look into it. But nonetheless, but yeah, I'm interested. I'm interested to see Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre fight in an Iron Man match. I'm all in it. I want to see it. I don't want to see nothing. I know it's not going to be nothing crazy where Drew McIntyre is just like, washing him for like a whole hour where he gets like 5 pinfalls and Ziggler walks out with like 1 pinfall. If that happens, that's crazy.
Right.
And it's interesting with the whole booking because they're like, Drew McIntyre's like, yeah, I'm the guy who beat Brock Lesnar. I'm the one who Claymore'd his head off, whatever, and it's like, it's cool. When Drew McIntyre used that and I think that was excellent of Drew McIntyre on Raw to say, I'm the one who beat Brock Lesnar and beat him with the Claymore and X, Y, and Z. I thought that was cool, but it doesn't seem as effective when you have Seth Rollins who used a whole bunch of curb stomps to beat him. Like he already, did the same thing you did. Like it was no different. Like you guys, everybody knows that Brock Lesnar's weakness is specials. Is repetitive specials. He can't win. He can never win. The first guy to reveal that was Goldberg. He speared, and then he jackhammered, and then So. Oh, Jake, you still there?
Yeah.
Oh, all right, signal went out. All right. So yeah. So let's get to the NXT card real quick because we're running out of time. All right. So we're going to give this a thumbs up, thumbs down. We're just going to review the card. We want to know what you guys think about Great American Bash, the second part of NXT's pay-per-view. This is where Keith Lee fights Adam Cole for the winner takes all match. A few, maybe like 2 episodes back, we talked about the news that was leaked about Keith Lee winning the winning the NXT World Heavyweight Championship title. They actually did put the strap on him. They didn't change the results. The results maintained the same.
Right.
So Jay, we're going to do a thumbs up, thumbs down. Want to know your thoughts about what do you think about the match card? All right, so here we go. Street fight: Candice LeRae versus Mia Yim. The winner was Candice LeRae. What do you thought about the match? Thumbs up, thumbs down. I'm going to give this match thumbs up. I'm going to give this match thumbs up. I'll say thumbs up. It's pretty good. Bronson Reed versus Tony Nese. Winner Bronson Reed. Give this match thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs sideways. I give it thumbs sideways. Yeah. Johnny Gargano versus Isaiah Swerves Scott. Winner Johnny Gargano. Thumbs up, thumbs down. I give this a thumbs up. I thought it was pretty good. Sideways. All right. Breezango Drake Maverick versus Legado del Fantasma. Wow, that's a lot in that name. Winner Legado del Fantasma. Give this thumbs up, thumbs down. I give it a thumbs sideways. Thumbs up. Okay. Mercedes. Thumbs up. Mercedes Martinez versus Santana Garrett. Winner Mercedes Martinez. I didn't care. I didn't care for this one here. Down. Thumbs down. All right. Winner takes all match. North American champion Keith Lee versus NXT champion North American champion Keith Lee versus NXT champion Adam Cole. Winner was Keith Lee. I'm gonna give this a thumbs up. 2 thumbs up. Absolutely.
It was a great match.
Great match. Great finish. I enjoyed it. Thought it was pretty dope. I liked it. Thought it was really good. Yeah.
I didn't think that that Adam Cole was gonna put him in the Tequila Sunrise, whatever the name of that movie. I didn't think he's gonna catch him with it.
Yeah, I was surprised with the Panama Sunrise. Yeah, I was. But I think it's actually it's really. All right, so is it really is it originally the Panama Sunrise or the Canadian Destroyer?
I think same movie. They just named it different.
Yeah. So they call it Panama Sunrise because, of course, Petey Williams probably copywrote the name Canadian Destroyer.
And Adam Cole's from Florida, so.
Yeah. Okay. Panama Sunrise. Yeah. Yeah. Right. Panama Sunrise, my foot, mother. That's the Canadian Destroyer. Akira Tozawa had, was it Akira Tozawa or no? Not Tacha Michinoku. What is the guy name? Oh my God. He's the guy that uses the GTS to go to sleep. And when CM Punk was using it, CM Punk said something about the go to sleep, and he mentioned something about it.
He was NXT. Huh? He was in NXT.
Yeah, Asian guy. I forgot his name, man. Not Akira Tozawa. I have his name. I have his face in my head, but I don't have his name. But he's the original user of the GTS. That was his move originally since New Japan Pro. And he mentioned he's like, no, it's not to go to sleep. It's the da 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 da. That's my move. Like I originated that. Jay, you still there? Hello? Yeah. All right. We're having technical difficulties. Jay's kind of his camera went out. Okay. Let's See, Jay, you still there? All right. Hello? All right. Okay. All right. So, all right, guys. So, yeah, that's it for today. Guys, leave some comments below. Let me know what you guys think. We want to hear from you guys. We want to know how you guys feel about the Great American Bash. We want to know what you guys think about these news and rumors. Please give us a thumbs up, give us a comment, talk to us, engage us. We want to hear from you. We are here to hear from the people. These topics, these subjects, this show is pretty much for the WWE fans. We want to engage you guys. We want to hear from you guys. We want to know what you guys think. This is what the show is about, engaging you guys. So we're going to have some guests on, and we're going to invite some of you guys from the pages and the groups to come on and talk to us about some wrestling if you guys are up for it, because we want to hear from you. You said what?
Hideo Itami. I'm sorry, my computer was bugging out.
Right, Hideo Itami. Okay, right. Sorry. Oh yeah, so Hideo Itami, he was the guy. Yeah, right. And I think him and Punk had like a little dispute on social media. Well, Punk didn't like go back and forth with him. Punk just made a statement about the GTS, and then Hideo Itami was like, "No, it's not the GTS. It's the da 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 da." And, right. And Punk just like, you know what? You're right. It is what. Like, yeah, I did borrow your move. That's true. And that was it. That was the end of the conversation. But yeah, Petey Williams. But when he hit him with the Panama Sunrise, I didn't think he was going to do it. I was like, he's going to do it, and he did it. And I was like, oh, he did it. He really did it. That was pretty cool. That was pretty dope. Yeah. Then he also landed on his neck with that crazy clothesline too.
Right. Yeah.
Nasty.
I saw that.
Yeah, that was really nasty. I was like, damn. I was like that. You could tell like it was like really bad, because once he got hit with the clothesline, you can see Adam Cole in the corner going like this, so he can get the feeling back in his hand, because he, we know it, like your nerve system is your spine. So if you mess that up, then it's a rizzle, But anyway, right. But all right. But let's close out today. Yeah, because we're passed out. We almost passed out. Mark. All right, guys. You guys are joining us. Please drop a comment below. We want to hear from you guys. That's what we're here for. We want to know what you guys think. You're catching us on the YouTube replay. Please drop a comment below. Let us know what you think about these news and rumors. If you guys are catching us on Facebook, do the same. What do you guys think about the news and rumors? How do you guys feel about NXT Great American Bash pay-per-view? What are your thoughts? How do you feel about Keith Lee being the new NXT and North American champion? Do you think he's going to have a great, successful reign as Adam Cole? Do you think it's going to last as long, or do you think it's going to be better? We want to hear from you guys. We want to know what you guys think. We want to hear your comments and your thoughts. If you want to be a guest on the show, please drop a comment below. Let us know if you want to be a guest. We will send you a link and let you know what next time we go live. We will invite you on, and you will be a guest on the show, and you will talk with us, and we'll talk wrestling. You'll be with us throughout the whole show as we go through news and rumors, and we go through the match card of that following show. All right. I am signing off. I'm your man, Saheem.
It's your boy. It should have been me, J Mac Main.
All right, guys. We are signing off. Jay, take us away.
His glory, for he is limitless. His glory, for he is limitless. His glory, for he is limitless. Oh, who was he? Who's that champ I see? Rhetorical question, but they all know the answer. Keith Lee. Yeah, and I ain't playing around. Think you can stand up to me, but it's best you stay on the ground. Lay still and don't make a sound, cause I'm just getting started.